So, yeah, Jimbo, let everybody know who the next pick was. If you need it, I got it. Let me know.
I got you. Yeah, so Kyu Blu Kelly, of course, the Stanford cornerback. That's right, cornerback, ladies and gentlemen. We had to wait till the 157th pick of this draft for the Baltimore Ravens to finally address the corner. But some basic information before we dig deep here. 6 foot, 191, pounds. So he's got the prototypical size is what I would say. Mm-hmm. I don't consider him to be undersized. I don't consider him to be overwhelmingly oversized either. I think he's got the prototypical size. So let's dig further. I mean, he ran a 4.52. I'm not in love with that as a corner. Mm-hmm. I think I'd push him. I don't know. I like to think so. That's not super fast. I'm not super happy about that. But
4.52?
4.52 is not great for a corner.
Yeah, it's not. But let's also remember, not everybody has their best showing at the combine, even though you'd like it to be.
100%.
I mean, 100%. I think Zay Flowers is a perfect example where you go, how the hell did he only run that? When you turn on the tape and he looks like an absolute burner.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, so anyway, let's talk about him, Glenn. Give me your first thoughts. I'll let you get first crack.
Cool. Yeah. So I watched, when I heard the Ravens took him, I watched the tape of last year's game against Drake London and USC, and then watched highlights from last year and this year. And, the one thing I will say is he fits what the Ravens need. He's an outside corner. He's not inside. I didn't see any snaps of him on the inside from the full game I watched against USC. And the reason I picked that game is Drake London was the wide receiver for USC. He was the number 9 overall pick, I believe, last year. Mm-hmm. So that gives you a pretty good indication of what he can look like against NFL talent wide receivers. He had a pick 6, which albeit was a ball thrown behind Drake London, kind of went off the hands of Drake. And so it was a tip pass, took advantage of it, took it back the other way. I saw multiple pass breakups throughout the game. He did give up he gave up a back shoulder, which was still tough coverage. It's a tough one if it's thrown well, and it's a tough one to guard. He gave up an out route for a first down right after he had a big pass breakup on a go route. So I liked it. Yeah, he gave up some plays, but he made his fair share of plays as well. I thought he was physical. He was not shy about coming up and tackling. He's not like a blow-up tackler. Like, he's not Marlon Humphrey.
That's what I was going to ask. How did you feel when you were watching that about his downhill tackling?
Yeah, I mean, he's not like a blow-up tackler, but he didn't look he looked willing to get in there and tackle, which is,
what did you think about his I'm just going through some weaknesses I've seen, so I'd like to know your thoughts. What about his makeup speed? Is another one that's been, talked about. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, that's where, you start to get concerns with him, but I didn't see it like where he just gave up a bomb. I didn't watch it. Again, I watched one full game and I watched highlights. So I didn't watch as much tape as a lot of these guys I'm sure did, but I didn't see in that game him get dusted deep. I mean, I saw they ran a go route and I saw him play it absolutely perfectly. He forced Drake London to the sideline, cut him off, made a fantastic play on the ball, got a PBU. So I see a 4.52, and that's got me nervous. But I tell you what, man, you look at some of these grading, like the same one that I was just using, the Draft Network, had him as a second-round grade. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who's played a ton of ball. His father was a longtime veteran in the NFL.
Yep.
So he comes from, he comes from he comes from a lineage of NFL talent. So he knows what to expect. This isn't going to be something that's going to be too big for him, the bright lights. No, he's grown up in football. He came out of Stanford, so he's no dummy, right? He's got to have some intelligence, which is, I'm sure, something the Ravens like. I'm excited about him because of where they got him. They got him in the 5th round, Jimbo. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
I think there's a decent chance he's already better than the 2 guys we drafted last year.
Well, he's better outside. Outside.
Certainly better outside because the Bama kid, Armour Davis.
And Pepe's an inside guy.
Right. So I don't know how much worse of a showing you can have than what Armour Davis had. So, I think overall, look, this kid's a 4-year starter, Glenn, which is great. A
lot of ball.
Yeah, like you said, he's got the pedigree. He's got the desired size. But I was curious to get your thoughts on his overall physicality and the makeup speed, because that a couple different sources that I went through seem to be the two Knicks. But look, I mean, obviously you saw a tape against a great player and a guy that's already transitioned well into NFL. So once again, pick what, 157?
Yeah, 157. Yep.
You can't ask for, you're not going to get a Tom Brady in the 100s every single year. So let's give this kid an opportunity to compete, to add some depth to that room. And hopefully we got something here. And I don't think the Ravens are done at corner, so don't panic yet.
It's all the writing is on the wall for a reunion of Marcus Peters or Rock Ya-Sin, who's a very talented and solid NFL pro who's just been overlooked, I think. And just for just so you know as well, our guy Draftplex, who we think pretty highly of around here, had a 3.4 grade, around 3.4 grade on this guy. And again, the Ravens get him in the 5th round. So if for nothing else, it addressed the need and they got value with the pick. So I think we can all expect this guy to be a huge instant impact player, or at least instant big time snap count player when it comes to special teams. If nothing else, this guy better be, fighting to be the gunner. He better be pushing everybody to take snaps away from guys on the practice squad, because that's how he's going to initially get on the field. And then if the Ravens have injuries at those positions, because I do believe there's vets on the way, or if they fail at gaining those vets, then we might have to see this guy sooner than later. Nice.
No, I hear you. Yeah, so hopefully not. But look, I think I stand on an island when I say this, and this is the last thing I'll mention before we transition to the other one. I'm cautiously optimistic that Brandon Stevens can surprise some people this year. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think he showed some moments last year. So I'm interested to see. And look, remember, he's a young player at that position.
Right.
And very physically gifted. So
I think he's got all the physical talents. It's just, can he stay healthy and can he get the scheme down where we won't see mental?
What is up, Ravens Flock? Huge shout out for your support for the 410 Sports Talk. James and Glenn are the best in the business. They're killing it right now. They love talking Raven talk. Make sure you go subscribe to their channel. Let's go Ravens. Big trust.